Hello, all bettors and bettees. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Fades Parlays Podcast. I am your host. Very happy to be with you, Mr. Wright. My co-host sitting here is Mr. Sanders. Say hello to the people, Mr. Sanders.
Hello to the people, Mr. Sanders.
And people, do we have a ton on the docket for you today? It is a massive week 3 for us here at the Fades Parlays Podcast. We are taking 9 games this weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, let me repeat, 9 games this weekend. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it because we have a lot to talk about. We're going to try to get it in a short amount of time for you because we know your attention spans are short. And we're going to try to get into the meat and potatoes of the situation. Okay? So getting right into our picks this week, we're going to start with the Bears at the Colts.
Yeah.
Mr. Sanders, what we got going on?
Yeah, so let me see if I got this straight. The line started at Bears plus 2, then it moved to Bears plus 1, then it moved to Bears plus 1.5. So it's been really going from Bears plus 1 to plus 1.5. Now, when I saw it earlier in the week, I knew watching the Colts the last 2 weeks, especially against Green Bay, their defense is just so bad. I waited until it was at plus 2.5. I was able to get the Bears at plus 4. But if you're seeing it at Bears plus 1.5, grab it at 3, give yourself a field goal. I'm cautious at Bears plus 2. I think they're going to beat them. I do. I think the Bears are going to beat the Colts, but try to get the Bears plus 3. That is what my pick is. If you could grab it at 2, go ahead and do it because the first game was a disaster for Williams, just a disaster. I went back and watched the game. He was everywhere. He needs to take a deep breath, understand this isn't USC. I realize his line isn't the best. It's a little frustrating to watch that the Bears don't run the ball well. Shane Waldron really gets on my nerves as an offensive coordinator. It just drives me crazy. Watching it last week against Houston, that first drive was beautiful. They did a really good job, and I was like, okay, cool. Williams is getting it. Super awesome. And then all fucking hell broke loose. I was, 16 pressures, 7 sacks. That dude was running around like his ass was on fucking fire. And 100%. He tries to do way too much. And it's like that thing I was bringing up to you before. Here he goes, rolling out to the right, thinking that his arm is Josh Allen, trying to hit dude as he comes over. Yeah, dude, when there's 3 jerseys that are a different color that are covering that man, you're throwing it to the right. I don't know. Don't throw the ball.
Maybe don't throw that one.
Or throw it away. But, you know, what really surprised me, though, is, look, they're getting so much pressure. Williams is going through what he's going through. Why they're not allowing Swift to run the ball or putting in Herbert to run the ball? I don't understand. You know your line is weak. The Texans are coming after your life, and you're not helping him in any way. And he's just missing throws, like just flat out missing them. I think maybe he's got a mindset to where he thinks he's back at USC. Again, I get his line isn't what it is. I didn't really watch much of college, to be honest with you. But he really needs to take a deep breath. And the Bears need to run the goddamn football this week because Indianapolis is terrible against the run. They can't stop it. They're going to be without Buckner. They're without both of their defensive linemen up front. Their rookie Latahu or Latu or whatever his name is, he's playing hurt. They are just getting gutted on the ground. And Richardson, he had like 2 drops, maybe 3 last week, but it wouldn't have mattered. That dude, he's worse than Lamar. I don't want to hear, it's this and that year. Dude, you should not be missing your targets this bad. I mean, he's got a goddamn rocket for an arm. Congratulations on a beautiful 65-yard dime. I'm happy for you. What is that doing for you? Because it was horrible, ugly as hell last week. They ran all over Indianapolis. Houston ran all over Indianapolis. Let's give Williams some time. Run the goddamn ball. Bears +3. You can get it at 2. Bears +3 over the Colts. Putting a lot of faith in them. Bears +3.
Bears +3. Bears +3. All right. Over the Colts. I like it. Game number 2 that we are taking is Denver at Tampa. Right?
Yep.
You're kind of hot on this Tampa team a little bit.
Yeah, they've been balling, man.
Right?
They have been balling. So the line has gone from 6.5. I've seen a couple spots at it -5.5. But it's pretty much sticked at 6 as far as Buccaneers -6.
Okay.
Look, if you can grab Tampa Bay -4, get it. I did. I waited for the line to drop to 6. I was able to grab it at 4. If you can get Tampa Bay -5, take it. But I wanted to throw out some caution here. I would like to read off what the Buccaneers got coming. And this could be what you call a trap game. And not just because of who they're playing next, but this is the teams they're playing before the bye. And let's see. They're going to be home versus Philly after they play the Broncos, at Atlanta, at New Orleans, home versus the Ravens, home versus Atlanta, at Kansas City, home versus the Niners. That is their 7 games. Brutal. Brutal. That's so brutal. So it's very, 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 very important for Tampa to make sure that they handle business here. Because even if they can walk away 3-4, 4-3 during the 7-game stretch, to walk in there 3-0 during this stretch is too fucking mungus. Because the Saints are balling out. Let's see what the Falcons do, which we'll be getting to them. So I say Tampa Bay -4. I have put so much money on the money line for them, which I got at 270. I put so much money on them this week at money line against the Broncos. But my advice, if it's the money line is too much for you, which I can understand, Tampa Bay -4. Let that defense get in Bo Nick's ass. Just get in that ass, cause some fucking problems, and just let's fucking go. Tampa Bay -4, unless you can afford Tampa Bay money line. But Tampa Bay -4. Let's go. Focus before the gauntlet starts coming.
Right. So Tampa Bay -4 at minimum.
At minimum.
Tampa Bay money line if you can't afford it.
Right.
I like it.
If you can't find it at 4, I think Tampa Bay -5 should be fine and dandy. Would I take it? Yes, I would. I would take Tampa Bay -5. They should beat them sound. Will I bet the farm and everything like I did last week? No, but I'm definitely putting my money on Tampa Bay -5. There's no reason that they shouldn't beat them by a touchdown.
Okay. All right. I like it. Sounds good. Let's go, Tampa.
Let's
Get
go.
right game before your gauntlet, right?
Right. Brutal.
All right. Well, game number 3 on our docket today. We have the Texans at the Vikings. Intriguing matchup.
Yeah.
Right? Two 2-0 teams. Someone's gonna take their first L this week.
Yeah.
Who we choosing?
So the line has pretty much been Houston, anywhere from Houston -1 to Houston -2. That's pretty much where the line's been going. When it first came out, it was Houston -1.5. I saw Houston +2 for -150, and I'm like, wow, okay. The money line was -135. I'm like, how am I getting 3.5 points for that cheap? So I was able to grab it. Houston +2, so that's fine and dandy. But my pick for them is Houston money line. Look, the one thing I thought for the Dolphins, which was really dumb to do, was get rid of Van Ginkel. I really liked him. I love what he brought in, always coming off the edge. I think it's falling out for the Vikings. He almost picked 6 Purdy last week after he picked 6 week 1 against friggin' Daniel Jones. So, I mean, they're bringing it. They're bringing a lot of blitz. But the problem is I'm a little concerned, no Joe Mixon, especially with his ankle. And Cam Akers is going to be running the ball this week because they ain't got nobody else. So
Right.
I think Cam should be able to do his thing solid enough. But you know that Houston's going to start slinging it. And that defense is going to be ferocious. They need to continue to come after Donald. It's
Right.
just the Minnesota line isn't the Bears line. Minnesota is better. But let's start
Right.
pressuring him. Jefferson, look, he's got a really bad thigh bruise. So he didn't really practice much all this week. And I get it's Justin Jefferson and all. But, like, keep hitting that fool in the leg. Do something to slow this man down. What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
The NFL, man. I'm sorry, but somebody's got to stop you. So, hit him in the leg when he's down on the ground. Do something to slow the man down. So my pick, if you can't find or get it cheap, Houston +1, take Houston money line. It's super, super cheap. They're only a point favorite. Take a money line. Have them win the game right out. I would, knowing we already have it at +2 for Houston, but no doubt about it, I would lay my money on Houston money line and hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts, to quote the great Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
So our very next game on our docket today, another intriguing matchup, Philly at the Saints.
Yeah.
The Saints have been looking decent, although they did beat up Carolina team.
Yeah.
And they look like some grown men playing some boys against Dallas last week,
Big time.
pushing that defense all over the field.
All over, especially up front.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Put them on skates, put them on sleds, whatever you want to call it. They were moving men.
Yeah.
So do they do the same against Philly this week?
That's why I wanted to leave that game alone last week. It was hard. It was so hard to not tell people to take Philly, but I have so much concern about them up front. And what was it that I told you? I said they need to have a minimum of 25 carries from their running back, and they have to get pressure up front with an eye roll emoji. They didn't do that on either one of them. Pretty much what I figured. And look, people can blame Barkley all they want. Yes, he should have caught the ball. Yes, it would have been a first down. Yes, the game would have been over. Yes. But I sent you film a screenshot. Did anybody notice how if Hurts would have took half a second just to look forward? Devontae Smith was so wide open in the end zone. The game was over. It wouldn't have mattered.
Boom.
But the bottom line, run the fucking ball. They have no timeouts. Give them 50 seconds. And I hate this prevent shit. They picked him apart. That was like a freaking, I don't even know what the hell that was. Just boom, 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 game. And then Slay guy was too busy looking at Cousins when London broke out for the touchdown. Like, dude, there's no one back there. What do you think? They're going to play action or something? Stick with the man.
Yeah.
They're getting zero pressure. They're getting worked. They can't stop the fucking run. They're getting manhandled up front. I don't see how the Saints lose this game at home. And how? I just don't see it. They should manhandle Philly up front. Manhandle them up front. Manhandle them. So we're going to go New Orleans money line against Philly. New Orleans money line. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout, but New Orleans money line. Let's go, Saints. You got me a little worried, but let's go, Saints. Hoorah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. We're gonna see the Saints are for real coming up here very shortly, right?
Yep.
So our next one is gonna be Miami at Seattle.
Yeah.
Big cross-country flight for those Dolphins.
Yep.
No Tua Finn.
No Tua.
You got good old Skylar
Thompson.
Skylar Thompson starting that quarterback for the Dolphins.
Yep.
You're right. Seattle's been decent this year. So what are we looking at for this one?
Skylar Thompson is trash. What was I telling you earlier? This motherfucker can't be going 19 for 41.
Right.
I've taken Seattle both games this year, which I haven't let out loud. And, we should have a better record on the podcast because I know I have a better record in the podcast, and I know it. And Seattle has been the 2 games, and I was clenching my butt cheeks last week. But I can't see how Miami is going to beat them. Like you're flying clear cross country. That Tua is on this plane is nuts to me, but what do I know?
Yeah. How is he flying with the head injury? Like that's.
Yeah. Hey, what do I know? What do we know? But I think, look, I don't know how they're going to stop Seattle. Seattle's pretty garbage up front as far as their offensive line. But Miami's just trash, period, defensively. I think they're going to be able to at least slow them down enough, but I don't think Skylar Thompson is going to be able to do enough personally to keep up with the offense of Seattle. To my understanding, there's no Kenneth Walker, but they should still run the ball. I don't know how they're going to cover these dudes. I just don't. Put Ramsey on Metcalf, that's fine. Have freaking Njigba and Lockett do their goddamn thing. It's going to take a total disaster for Seattle to lose this game. There's zero excuse to lose this game. Zero excuse. There's no reason that they shouldn't be in Skylar's ass. Make them uncomfortable. You know, Tuafin may be trash, but at least Tuafin can get rid of the ball quickly under 2.4 seconds. Skylar Thompson didn't even, I don't even know where to begin, but he's been horrible. Yeah. So I say Seattle money line. There's zero excuse for them to lose this game. Zero excuse at home. Zero excuse. Seattle money line.
Seattle with a very underrated receiving core.
Big time.
Who you don't hardly hear about those 3 receivers up there who are doing their thing.
Yeah, both of them. Right. So, 2 dudes, 10-plus catches, 100-plus yards last week. I mean, that's not by accident. That's against New England. They may have gotten their ass handed to them by the Jets, but New England is no joke on defense.
No, they got, absolutely. Good defense. All right, well, so interesting there. Now, moving on to our next line, our next game on the docket here. Detroit at Arizona.
That's tough. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Willy Wonka's favorite character, to be honest with you. It ain't to take nothing against him. I don't think he's trash, but I don't know.
Who we talking about?
Oh, we're talking about frickin' Murray. Who else are we talking about? Yeah, come on, man. That fool be Oompa Loompa in it. But like he's got an arm, but he can play quarterback. I'm not going to take that away from him. But he can also play Call of Duty, so go figure. But it's kind of – this was hard. Look, I personally feel Detroit still struggles in the secondary quite a bit. Hutchinson can't do everything by himself. And Dave Campbell's just costing them games. I'm tired of this. It's 100% on me. Motherfucker, it was on you in the championship game. You barely walked out alive against Tampa Bay in the divisional last year. You're lucky Dean dropped that pick in the end zone because that was game over. I get it, the whole 4th down and the stuff they do. This is why I've been telling people prior, adapt to when you pick these teams because you know they go for 2. You know they do stupid shit on 4th down. You know what they do. Philly, same shit. Baltimore does this dumb shit sometimes. Miami constantly does stupid shit. And they're one of the teams. So the coach needs to just stop, man. I say Detroit money line. Jared Goff. This fool owns that team. Owns them. I think it's like 11-2 all time. I think it was. But there's no. They should dominate. Try to keep Murray. Well, contain the best you can. Watching that fool run around, it's like watching a mouse in my house that's on fire. You know what I'm saying? But give him credit because it changes the game. I'm hating because to an extent you can't take away from the dude. But
you got to account for it.
You got it 100%. So I say Detroit money line because I think that they need to get into gear because this is an important game for them. Especially, with Green Bay. If Minnesota ends up beating Houston, which they better not, that's a problem. So this is kind of a must-win on the road for them.
Already in week 3.
Yeah, it really is because how their division is going. Yeah, so I say Detroit, money line, you better bring it and run the ball down their fucking throat.
Bring in and run the ball. Let's go.
Yep.
Okay, now moving on to the Sunday night game. The Sunday night game this week is Kansas City at Atlanta. Right? You feel pretty strongly about your pick on this one.
I do. I was telling everybody, hurry up. Whatever you do, grab money line before this game. I thought it was going to be Kansas City like -5, -5.5 by kickoff. If not, at least like 4.5 by today. The fucking line's going the other way. I'm literally like, let me get my glasses. Then it's like, hold on, let me get a telescope from my neighbor to make sure I'm reading this fucking thing right. The money line has dropped 15 points. The line itself has dropped half a point. It's like, what the fuck? I think this is a get-right offensively game for Kansas City. Everybody's talking about, oh, where's Travis Kelce? He's washed up. What the fuck? What are you people talking about? They're going different avenue. What's he supposed to do? 10 catches, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns every game? 5? Yeah. Kansas City hasn't broken out yet. Yes, I get no Pacheco. I need Thor. I don't care what everybody else calls him. I've been calling him Thor. I need that fool to handle his business, hold on to the football, give him enough run game. But I think Mahomes is going to have a game. This fool is either going to throw 3 picks or he's going to throw 3 touchdowns. It's going to be that type of game. I think Kelce gets in it, bring those safeties up just a little bit, Bates and Simmons. And it's time to start showing what Worthy's about. Hit Rice like they did against Cincinnati last week. That was pass interference, by the way, everybody. No matter how much you love to hate it, I thank God because we hit the game. But no matter what, I really think they go off. Look, I got Kansas City money line. I got some solid money on this game. They should absolutely mop the goddamn floor with Atlanta. This should be easily a 2-score game, unless they score a garbage touchdown at the end, which doesn't matter anyways because we have Kansas City money line. So let's take it. Mahomes is going off. I think Mahomes is going off on Sunday.
This is a breakout game on Sunday.
I think
Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, against that D, I think so. Ain't going to get nothing up front.
Prime time in front of the world. He shines. Right?
You know.
I mean,
if you don't know, now you know.
It's freaking Mahomes we're talking about here.
I'm just saying.
God damn. So, now, I personally don't like when they do this. I prefer one Monday night game. But for those of you who don't realize yet, we do have 2 Monday Night Football games this Monday.
Hate it too.
Kind of annoying. Yeah. However, we are taking both of them.
We are.
So the first one we're going to discuss is Jacksonville at Buffalo. Okay, Josh Allen, Buffalo. What we doing?
So Buffalo is favored by 5. You know, I waited to mess with Buffalo. I did take them Thursday night against Miami last week. I think I'm going to have to agree with Trevor Lawrence's assessment. They suck. I'm going to have to agree with the man. I'm a little surprised they're not running as much Etienne. They're not doing much to stop the run. I don't know what Trevor Lawrence is seeing out there. I mean, he ain't pulling no Bryce Youngs or nothing, but they're dysfunctional. And they're getting run all over on. And you know what I think Buffalo's going to do? Which I never thought I would say, at least I haven't these last how many years. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. And I think the defense might be a little too aggressive for them. Buffalo has definitely handled their business. Like, I'm all about the run game. But yeah, I like the pass game. I'm all big about it. But you ain't doing nothing without the run game. You're just not doing it, period. And that's not Josh Allen. You need a run game. You need a run game.
But they got the runners to do it.
You got to. Yeah, you got to have it.
I like James Cook.
Yeah, I've been talking about him when he came out. I'm a little shocked they didn't use him as much as they did in his first year. But with that being said, it's an expensive money line. The last I saw it was at -230. I'm putting okay money on it. I am taking Buffalo money line just in case. This kind of seems like the type of game. Jacksonville's another team that might go for 2 or do something goofy, or Josh Allen might accidentally have something happen. So I'm keeping my bet low, but 100% I'm taking Buffalo money line, despite the price of it. Buffalo money line against Jacksonville. And thank God, I'm gonna actually have to watch it on mute because of fucking Dan Orlovsky's dumb fuck ass is gonna be calling that game. I fucking hate that man. It's a good thing we don't have a My Two Cents because that dude's a fucking jackass. So I'm glad he'll be on mute, but I'll have the two TVs going because the other game is what's gonna matter, which is obviously we're gonna get to talking about. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the double game Monday night either.
Yeah, me neither. And the other game we're talking about on Monday night is Washington at Cincinnati.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is what you call a get right game.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Out of all the rookie quarterbacks that I've seen, like Jaden Daniels has by far looked the best. He's
right.
done
this year.
Yeah, he's done a very good job throwing the ball. That fool needs to learn the word slide or get down. He's doing mostly kind of one receiver, sometimes two, but he's not making stupid mistakes. He's kind of just staying within himself. They had a really good run game last week, really physical last week, and it was kind of cool to see. With that being said, the Bengals are favored by 7. I've seen the line drop to 6. They opened up some places -7.5, -8 for the Bengals. So I saw it at -6. I got the Bengals at Bengals -5 the moment it dropped to 6. Just in case there's, again, this garbage time touchdown. And I'm telling you, people, so many times, this has saved my ass so many times. They'll be up 12. Next thing you know, they throw a touchdown. And taking that 5 at least gives me the push. And it's super, I can't begin to tell you how many times I've had this happen, and it's saved my ass. And it ain't worth a freaking $10 or $15 to push my money because I got it at 6. I'm telling you. I push this on people all the time. So Bengals -5, and that I've thrown out so many props is crazy. Look, Chase is due. Chase is pissed. He is due for a touchdown. We're going to also take Chase for a touchdown. From all the money that I've gotten from the farm, the tractor wheel from Tampa Bay and San Diego, after all these years still, from the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers. Listen, man, I'm actually going to put at least 2 cattle of my farm on this game for Cincinnati -5 because they look good, and I don't think Daniels will be able to handle the exotic defense that the Bengals are going to show against him. I think that's going to cost him a big problem, just being able to read. Like, if they beat him, more power to you. But I got cattle on the game. So, brand those motherfuckers, just that motherfucker real quick, like, Bengals -5, grab that mofo, and take Chase for a touchdown because their secondary is still garbage, and that fool is going to go off. And remember, everybody, T. Higgins is back, but he ain't going to be playing a full game. Chase is going to go off this game. If I don't see 5 to 7 catches for like 130 and like 2 touchdowns, I'll be dumbfounded. But we're taking Chase, 1 touchdown, Bengals -5.
Bengals -5. Ass whooping.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, very busy weekend.
Cute.
A lot going on. A lot of moving parts. A lot of work has gone into these picks. Mr. Sanders has done the research. He's done the work. So all you have to do is watch a podcast and put your money where we put our mouths, and there we go. Right?
Yeah.
So just a quick recap of our picks this week. We are taking now, Mr. Sanders, you gave me these numbers last night.
Yeah.
But today a couple of them are a little different.
Yeah.
So when I go over this recap, if I say a number that's not entirely that's not right, make sure you correct me.
Okay.
Okay. So as I have it written, we have Bears at +4 versus the Colts.
Because we were able to get it +4. So I'm telling people, if you can get it, great. But Bears +3, grab Bears +3.
Okay. All right. Now, Denver at Tampa. We're taking Tampa -4.
We were able to get Tampa -4 because the line went down to 6. If you're able to get it, great. But don't be scared to take Tampa -5.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. We have Texans +1 at the Vikings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
We have Philly at Saints.
Well,
We're taking Saints. Go ahead.
The Houston game. If you can't grab it at +1, Houston money line, 0 issues with it. Take them for the win.
Okay. I like it. So you got 2 chances to win money on that one there. Right? And now the other one, Philly at Saints. We're taking Saints money line.
Saints money line.
Okay. Saints just win. We have Miami at Seattle.
Yep.
We're taking Seattle to just win. Seattle money line.
Yep.
Just win, baby. Now we're taking Detroit money line at Arizona.
Correct.
Okay. We're taking Kansas City money line at Atlanta on the Sunday night game.
That should be free money.
Free money. Free money is always good. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we got Jacksonville at Buffalo. We're taking Buffalo money line.
Yep.
Okay. Now we have Washington at Cincy. And I have written down Cincy -4.
Right.
Right. And then we have the Jamar Chase prop for a touchdown in that game.
Right. The Cincy, if you're able to get it, because again, the line was Cincinnati -6. I was able to get it at 4. If you're not able to do it, feel free to grab Cincinnati -5. Not an issue. I'm all good. Cincy -5. I have 0 issues putting money down on it. Quite frankly, I'd be comfortable Cincy -6. But my advice, Cincinnati -5. And yes, Chase prop. Touchdown.
Okay. Well, there it is. There you have it. So to all our bettors, bettees, all of our subscribers, everybody watching today, we really appreciate your viewership. And we hope you get some money this weekend because we sure are planning on getting some money this weekend.
Yeah, it's a huge momentum weekend. This is what I call a momentum weekend. This is what can turn the tide. This is either going to put you up to where it gives you some space, or we're going to be spending weeks 4, 5, 6, continue to grind out like we do every week, but to kind of get back to where we were. So a huge momentum week, to say the least, at 9 games. Wow.
Let's go. I'm confident, baby. I'm confident.
Oh,
very excited. Yes. Well, thank you so much for tuning in again. We really appreciate all of you. Follow us, please. Click and subscribe.
Word.
Our Instagram page is what, Mr. Sanders?
Fades and Parlays _podcast. And that's for our IG.
For our IG, go ahead and leave your comments. We love to see it.
Word.
We like to respond to them. Let us know what you think. Let us know how you did this weekend. We're curious to know. You know?
Yes, that would be cool, especially if you won.
All right. Yeah. When we win. When we win.
Right.
Hell yeah. So signing off. Thanks again for watching. And let's go. Big day tomorrow. Let's go. Peace out.